Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Living Room Studio. I am your man out of Japan, Jay Contra, and we are looking at some of the most expensive games for the GameCube in Japan. We're going sort of out of my comfort zone where I would like to be going. I want to complete a set of GameCube games, not necessarily some of these games because just man, doing some research for this, I found some absolutely incredible stuff about what we're going to take a look at. And boy, let's just get started with. I don't know if this is the most expensive. It's the most expensive one I've ever seen, but this is a weird case. All right, so what are we looking at? We are looking at a game that is going for about $900 for the GameCube. This is. Let me double check what this is. This is the Mobile Suit Gundam. It's a Mobile Suit Gundam game for the GameCube. Now, this is, I think, quite common. Let's look at this is a special version that was put out by Kadokawa. So the deal was you had to answer like a questionnaire in a magazine and something that was included with the original copy of the game, or you had to submit two things. I can't remember now. You had to submit two things in and hopefully win one of it's like 50 or 500 copies of this game. Look at here. So you've got the regular version of this game is $5 pretty much. At the time of recording, it's like 108, 107 yen to the dollar. This copy is going for $900. I don't even know if they're distinct covers. Let's take a look. Now, when I looked this up on Wikipedia, they are actually distinct games. There's a couple of differences, not huge differences, but at least some slight differences. Now let's look at that cover. Yeah, see here. So this is the base copy of the game. That's the $5 version of the game. This is, see here, I guess the only distinguishing, not for resale, not for sale. It's got that. It's got the distinguishing mark here. It's apparently the actual game itself is not that different between the two versions. I think you get like a little bonus for having the special edition, but otherwise they play more or less the same. I don't even know how hard it would be to find this. I've never seen this before. I should note that if you're new to this series, and if you're new to this channel, we are on the Surugaya website. Surugaya is a mass sailor or mass reseller of like Japanese like cards and toys and hobby goods, games. They don't list everything possible. There are probably some games that are going to be missing. This is just what they have in stock at the current time. Oh, hello, kitty. Hi, would you like to be on YouTube, Hamtaro? No? Okay, all right. I'm trying to get my cat on camera because apparently that's popular on the internet. So, moving on. What do we got here? We've got the Biohazard Special Version. So now what is this? Because it's like a sample version. It's like probably got a little bit of a game. Let's look at the picture. How much is this going for? This is going for very nearly $300. So let's see what this is. So this must be just a sample version. Yeah, I wonder if you got this. So this is for the remake. There was the original remake. There was the remake of the original game for the GameCube. Absolutely phenomenal. Love that game. I played it, I think, in English and Japanese. Although the Japanese version is just the English with Japanese subtitles. It's crazy. I'm guessing you got this some way, but I don't know how. And it's going for $300. It's just one of those things that you're buying to have a complete collection. Here we've got the collector's box. So this is the remake collector's box. What is even in here? Yeah, I can't tell. Yeah, it doesn't tell you what's even in here. So you've got to know what you're looking for when you're looking at this. And it's going for about $230, give or take. I should also mention that Surugaya includes the price of tax in its prices. Consumption tax in Japan is like $10, or sorry, $10 is 10%. Let's see, what else have we got here? We've got a lot of different ones. So I also need to mention that, and I probably should have mentioned this before, but Japanese resellers they grade pretty harshly. Surugaya is, I think, the most loose in terms of its grading, but they will offer different grades will have different prices. So here we've got one. This is not even in the best possible condition. This is being sold as it's got one of the inner boxes has some issues with it. Now, obviously, you can't. I don't think. Actually, let's compare this. Let's open this up and see if there's any difference. No, that's okay. They actually, what you will find with Surugaya is very frequently they will have expensive games with a stock image. So when you buy a game, you're not actually going to know what condition it's in. Now, if this was Mandarake, I would be more willing to go. Mandarake is another reseller of Japanese otaku goods. But Mandarake is very strict on its grading quality. So when you're buying an A-graded game from Mandarake, you know it is in mint condition. Whereas if it was like, say, a C-graded game, you know it's probably got a few scratches here and there. Whereas for Surugaya, their good condition game would be like a D grade at Mandarake possibly, where it's got like scuffs and scratches on it. Now, all of these games work and they have been tested, but just the quality, or the condition, I should say, of the game is really going to be in question for me. And so here we've got what is hopefully a unique picture of the game, because you can see the scuffs here. It's got some like little flakes here. Like, it's all cosmetic. And so this is going for, you're going to say $4. But this is also being sold as in full condition. It's got no notes as to what's going wrong with it. Whereas this one's just saying something's wrong with the box. Like, I cannot believe that they do not, honestly, anything over $50, I cannot believe they are doing listing specific photography of this stuff, because it's just so expensive. And especially if you're a foreign collector, like, you're not going to be able to return this. Like, what? What else have they got? They've got the WrestleMania X8 sample version going for $180. If you love WrestleMania, all right, have I got a copy for you? That's one of the more interesting things to me. Just in, when you go through all the games, like especially for the N64, there's a lot of like WWF, WWE games that were made by Japanese developers that came out for Japanese systems of American pro wrestling. Even though I know, Japanese pro wrestling and American pro wrestling, they've had a long history together. It's just really fascinating to me because it's not something I really follow, but it's interesting. Then we've got here, so compare what we're looking at. We're just going to get into the nitty gritty. We're already 8 minutes in, so hopefully if you're watching this, you're as fascinated by this as I am. When we look at the most expensive games for systems, compare what we've just looked at for the GameCube when you compare it to the N64 and the Super Famicom. Whereas the Super Famicom, you've got the mainline games. We're not talking about special editions. We're not talking about things that weren't for sale. When you look at just the mainline games, Super Famicom, it goes like Rendering Ranger R2 is $2,500. You've got like Magical Poppin' is like $1,500, and then like it's like $700 for Undercover Cops, $600 for not Heavy Arms, that's the Gundam, but for Wild Arms. We haven't even hit a mainline game. The first like for sale game that we find is what is this? PC Genjin. To Bonks, the Bonk collection, and not even like it's a re-release. It's a re-release. This is we're hitting a lot of currents here, and it's very, very hard to sort of figure out which one is even the most important. Where here we've been going through all of these special editions. Even this game here, what is this like? How do you say this? Ohenro-san? Is that what this is called? Yeah, Ohenro-san. Which is, it's like Google Maps, but for, it's like Google Street View of Japanese temples on this very specific pilgrimage around this very specific island. And this is the Kihon set. This is the basic set where it comes with some little, I don't even know what this is supposed to be. Oh, let's try. Like, I don't even know what this is. It's like a little device. It comes with the game and the device. And when you actually, I had to look this up on YouTube because I didn't even know what this game was. You're basically just on a pilgrimage to these 88 temples around the island of Shikoku. And it's basically just like Google Street View, where you can look around at the different sites at the temple and see some cool shrines. And it's going for $110, like 105, I guess. And that's just, and you can buy the game. I think it's like, let's see how much the game itself is. I don't know if the game was sold separately. This is, I don't know. Please tell me if this is boring to you, but I absolutely love comparing the super high expensive version like the box version versus just the cartridge. Yeah, see, it's a $20 game. And just getting this big box with the whatever this thing is, whatever that little gadget is, it's like an $80 difference. And then going back to it, here we've got the EU freeloader, which I'm guessing is just how you would play like American and Japanese games on your European Gamecube. Then we finally go to the first regular, just basic ass Gamecube game, and it is $95. And what's also unique about it is that it's just a collection of the Bonk games. It's like not even a unique GameCube game. Now, this is a phenomenon. I will talk about it every time we encounter it in a video because not everyone's aware of this. But in Japanese game collecting, there is this phenomenon of re-releases or like ROM sets, collections of old games that for some reason just become really expensive. Maybe it's because it was like not produced in high quantities, but like the biggest example I can think of is for the PS1. There's a game, there's a Sunsoft collection, which is like Super Spy Hunter and Gimmick, which are, yes, very expensive Famicom games, but then it's $300 for ROMs for the PlayStation. You're not even buying the original games. You're buying a ROM set for a future console, and it's really expensive. Like there's a bunch of like the Sengoku Ace, or like the Seikyo games, the Saikyo games got re-released on the PlayStation 2. They're really expensive. It's just like, it's just ROMs. It's just something that absolutely baffles me and that I do not understand. I'm assuming it's just people buying them because they want to complete their collection. Next up, we've got, this is probably the most personally interesting one to me, because my girlfriend was recently watching somebody stream speed runs of Pokemon Coliseum. So Pokemon Coliseum was like the Pokemon Stadium for the GameCube. This is, I don't know how you got this, but this is an expansion disc that you would, I think you would need. Yeah, it looks like it was if you pre-ordered something. I don't know what you'd need to pre-order. I'm just going off the box here. This was essentially when Gen 3 came out. You have to remember, like, we got to go back to like 2002, 2003. Gen 3 had come out and had essentially rewritten completely how, like on a code basis, how Pokemon worked. So you could not trade Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon into Generation 3. So you've got Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And then you had Fire Red and Leaf Green. So you had Gen 1 Pokemon and Gen 3 Pokemon were easily accessible. But you could not get Celebi unless you had this special expansion disc. And a lot of the Gen 2 Pokemon, I think, were locked away in Pokemon Coliseum. You had to like go through some battle route. I think if you like put like 1,000,000 hours into it and did everything, you could catch Ho-Oh at the end, I believe is the case, but I could be wrong. And I'm sure everyone came to this channel and to this video to learn more about Pokemon in the year 2003. But it's just fascinating to me how it's just like, Pokemon's got like what, 700 Pokemon now, and there seems to be no specific way of catching all of the Pokemon just in 1 or 2 games. And that has just been the case throughout the whole series. It's been a problem that I feel like the Pokemon Company just has not been able to manage properly. And then we've got, let's shift away. Let's move to Beyblade. Is this what? Oh, so this is a limited version of Beyblade, and it is $80. Yeah, that's crazy. And I love. I should have mentioned this earlier, but oh, and this is actually a new copy. What? Hold on. This is like so you can buy a new copy of a limited edition of Beyblade for $75. And so something they'll also do that that a lot of like old shop like or like retro shops in Japan will do. This is specific to Surugaya, but what like not retro shops, but what secondhand shops will do in Japan is they will tell you what the original price of something was, and they'll tell you if you're saving money on it, because obviously that's the whole thing behind their business. So when this came out in 2002, came out in on December 19th, and it was selling for 8,250 yen. You can save 50 yen on the MSRP. Now that's actually, for being an old game, I feel like that's actually pretty good, where you expect like a sealed copy of a game to be like really expensive, or at least more expensive than it was 20 or 18 years ago. So that's really fascinating to me. Here we've got, oh, this is the, man, oh wow, this is really expensive. Do I have this? I might have this. I'll have to check. So this is the GameCube release of Animal Crossing, and it's got, this is, I'm hoping this is the condition of what you'll buy. Wow. Oh, that's cool. No, I don't think I have this. This is awesome. So this is the DX pack of Animal Crossing. You've got, is that like a stack? Is that like a stack of papers? I don't know what this is exactly. It looks like a notepad. Oh man, a pen, the memory cartridge. Then you've got stickers, more notes, and you've got this cool little tin. Wow, that's great. I'd love to have this. And that's going for a cool $70. That's, you know, with how popular Animal Crossing is right now, I'm surprised that's not more expensive. Got some even more cool stuff here. This is the June 2006 demo disc for the GameCube. But in '06, like, wasn't the Wii out at this point? Like, what is even the point of having a GameCube disc out? Yeah, so this is what they would just put, DivX video. So is this even, I'm guessing it's got to have some demos on it. Ooh, sorry about that. I got to move my microphone away from the mouse because I keep hitting it. This is going for about $70. They don't even tell you. See that? You know, I wish retailers like this would actually put more information about what the game actually is, especially for all this special stuff. Because, like, really all you're encouraging is for people who know what they want to come here and buy it. Rather than if you're like someone who's like, I want to get into the GameCube, I want to collect the GameCube, but then you come here and there's all this mysterious stuff that is the most expensive and they don't explain what it is and they don't have individual listings for this kind of stuff with, you know, the picture of the thing that you want to spend $70 on. I really think there's a missed opportunity for Surugaya here. Now, why is that? This is cheaper. Okay, and then this is another demo disc that's for April of 2006. It's going for $70 as well. Now, this is also something very, very special and something I wish I could afford. But this is in Japan, the original Metal Gear. I'm not talking Metal Gear Solid. I'm talking the original Metal Gear. The MSX port was, or the original MSX game was ported to the GameCube. Now I'm pretty sure it's the MSX version because there was the Famicom version, which was, you know, had its differences from the MSX version. The only way to originally get this was with the Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes Silver GameCube, which we might actually run. And actually something I'll do on this video is we'll not only talk about the games, we'll talk about the GameCube variants, the console variants, because those are super incredibly expensive. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty Cat. My Kitty Cat is in the back. Oh, are you okay, Kitty Cat? Oh. So this is actually connected to this version here. This is the copy of Twin Snakes that came with that GameCube. The original Twin Snakes, or the regular Twin Snakes, is in like a red. Hold on, let's see if I can even show you that. So this is going for about, what is that, $65. Let's see if we can find the original Twin Snakes, or the basic Twin Snakes. Should be in a red, yeah, see it's in a red box here. It's going for like $20. Oh, Kitty's playing with his, on his scratch post. So yeah, like $20 versus the special edition here. Like this isn't even not, it's not even for sale regularly. And the same goes for that copy of Metal Gear. The only way to get this is if you're buying it with the special GameCube. Some other things of note are, yeah, this is the Zelda collection that's got like Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and one other that I can't remember. Does it actually even say it here? You got this through Club Nintendo in Japan. I want to say in America you got it from subscribing to Nintendo Power. I know a friend who had it. I was very jealous that they had it. This used to be really expensive. It's going for like $65. This used to be like a $100 game, and I think it still is if you're buying it in Akihabara. Some other things, what I need to note about some of these games is, I know this is Universal Studios Japan. This is like a $5, $10 game. Here it's going for $60 because this is a sealed copy. Another big one is this follows the same pattern as the Bonk's Adventure. This is the Sonic the Gems collection. I think it's got like what does it have? So it's got Sonic the Fighters, Sonic the Hedgehog CD, Sonic R. I think it's got like the original 3 Sonics, but there's other couple of games. Yeah, it's no surprise seeing it at $60 here just because it's really expensive. It's very hard to find. And again, it's just a ROM set. So if that's what you want, enjoy it. If you want to complete your set, I'll probably buy this one day just because I want a complete GameCube set. Here we've got Kirby's Air Ride. Wow, if that's $60 or $57, like if this is actually in good condition, I actually bought, how much did I buy it for? I bought a copy that was $40, but the disc was really scratched up. This is actually pretty good. Kirby's Air Ride, if you can find it mint in like a Mandarake or a Super Potato, could easily be $100. But this is actually a game that was originally supposed to be for the N64 and then ended up getting moved to the GameCube for whatever reason. And then rounding us out, we've got Rogue Squadron 3, which I feel should be cheaper. I remember seeing this for like $45 elsewhere. Here it's going for about $55. And then we've got an American copy of Twilight Princess, and then there's Zelda's Collector's Edition. No box or manual. I wonder if this is that one that you got from subscribing to Nintendo Power. Now let's go look at the consoles. Yeah, let's see. We gotta go move a couple things. Here we go. Let's go to the consoles. Whoa, holy crap. All right, here we go. Here are the big boys. So this is what I was talking about. This is the silver. You can see the loose version here. This is the box. The loose is going for $150. Man, I wish I bought this when it was cheap because it's so cool. I love Metal Gear. Complete in box is going for, yes, the premium package is going for $270. Now this very much just looks like the promotional item. So it's got the port of Metal Gear. It's got some kind of insert. It's got the GameCube itself. Now let's see if it doesn't say anything about the condition. So I'm gonna guess this is okay. This is probably just a promotional screenshot or image here. This is not what you'll actually be getting, which is unfortunate because if you're paying $300 for a console, you should be able to see what it looks like because the GameCube is very easily scratched. I've seen tons of them have scratches. And then we go to the orange GameCube. Now this is a very special orange GameCube, and we even have the regular orange GameCube down here, which is going for $80. This is mostly because foreigners come to Japan, they see the orange GameCube, which is objectively the best GameCube. They see it, they're like, I want it, boom, $80, which is actually like fairly cheap. When you compare it to like the eBay price, which is like what? I mean, easily $100 plus for just like a loose one, probably. It's incredible. And then this is the one that comes with the Game Boy Advance player, which I believe is compatible not just with the Game Boy Advance, but also with just Game Boy Color, original Game Boy as well. And this is going used, yeah, double checking, it is going used for $150. Now, this is where you can make the comparison with hard off, because most of the hard offs I've been to, they're selling this, they're selling GameCube's complete in box for about $30 or $40, regardless of the color. Whereas Surugaya, because they know a bit more about what they have and the demand for these items, they will charge different prices for the different colors. Because look at it here. Wow, and the purple one is even more expensive. That's very strange to me. And then the silver one. Nobody wants silver GameCubes, apparently, except for this bad boy right here. The silver GameCube is just the cheapest GameCube in Japan. Now, they don't have the other big one. There's a couple of other big GameCubes that are really expensive. There's a baseball GameCube, which is like, it's for some team that I can't remember. It's really expensive. There's the Char sort of pinkish red GameCube, which is super expensive. And then there is the Tales of Symphonia, kind of like teal, greenish blue GameCube that is like, oh my God, I think I saw it loose. Or no, I think I saw it complete in box at a hard off for like $200. Other than that, like GameCubes are by and large cheap, except not here, because even here, like you've got some that have like this console's probably scratched up, going for $30, whereas like a fine version that's apparently up to snuff is going for like $72, $75. Hard off, you could buy this for $30. But then again, hard off is also not going to be shipping you a GameCube halfway across the planet, whereas Surugaya will. I wonder what the shipping is going to be on this. But if, when the time comes and we're actually allowed to go back into Japan, when everything sort of returns back to normal, hopefully sooner rather than later, this is the system where you go to hard off and you pick this up, because they're going to be so cheap there, and they're still relatively easy to find, because I think in Japan this happened with the N64, and I think it happened with the GameCube as well, where all of the nostalgia went for the PS2 and the PS1, whereas the GameCube and the N64 were just kind of left on the side. And when we end up looking at PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 games, looking at the most expensive games there, they are way, way more expensive for just regular production PlayStation games as compared to the GameCube, where there just is not that demand there for these games. So much like the N64, the GameCube is still very collectible, very cheap, doesn't have a huge library, so you can complete a set quite easily. I'm going to wrap it up here, since we've been doing this for about an hour. Again, there's a like $15 for a loose GameCube, man. Like for the orange one, yeah, just leaving it at that. The Japanese GameCube is still very collectible. Games are going to be way, way cheaper than their North American versions. Like Cubivore is a huge example of, like, Cubivore is like a $200 game in North America, and in Japan it's like $20. So with that, I have been your man out of Japan. This has been the most expensive games available on the Surugaya web store. Thanks for watching. See you next time, and mahalo.